A little incident at the Henderson home. Life can be chaotic and unpredictable, and you never know what is coming next. So last night, about 5 a.m, I'll tell you this story. I was going to get up early this morning and shoot some content because I had a horrific dream. Now, like a lot of people around my age, and I had a dream that I always wanted to play on David Letterman. I always wanted to play in one of those bands that played on the Tonight Show or David Letterman or one of those things. I was never able to make that happen. But last night, I'm laying there. It's probably 4:30 in the morning. And I'm out. It was very cold here last night. So, we were all snug in our beds, and it's cold, and you're in a deep sleep. I'm in that deep REM sleep. And all of a sudden, some song that I've done or something has landed me on the David Letterman Show. It was one of those things where, it wasn't even really a project. A song took off. Then all of a sudden, hey, you got this chance to go on David Letterman. You want to do it? Yeah, we want to do it, right? And so I had one of my friends, one of my longtime musical buddies, on the gig with me because he would have been first call, if I needed a player for something like that. And he was John Billings, the guy that I did Rap Next and a bunch of different projects with. But he's there. I can remember I had this Les Paul, and we had some drummer who was kind of just there. It wasn't anybody that I had from my recollection. But, we were all a little rusty, and we hadn't actually physically played this song that we were trying to play in a long time. It was almost like some song from the Sunset Strip days or something, and I could remember the arrangement, in the dream. I could remember the arrangement, and I could remember, oh yeah, we've got the pre-chorus, we got to repeat the last line 3 times, and then it was all very vivid in my dream. And I knew the only chance we had to rehearse because of everybody's schedule was during the sound check at David Letterman. And as we're half-ass playing this song at the sound check and people are fumbling, we don't sound like a band that's rehearsed. We sound like guys trying to remember our past, and maybe that's a lesson right there and there. But as we're playing, and I'm trying to lead these guys through this tune, and our one chance to run it down and get it right, so that then we can, wait for our time on the show and play the song correctly as best we can. This is a 3-piece. This is a power trio. So I'm having to do vocals and guitar. And we got bass and drums. And while we're rehearsing, right at the top of the rehearsal, I bust like a D string on my Les Paul. And it was one of those things, dreams, where I had that guitar. And then I had like my old Strat from the Sunset Strip days, but I knew it had just brutally rusty strings on it. And so this Les Paul was my best guitar I had with me at the time. And I can remember scrambling on the break. We had a limited amount of time to get this guitar back up. I cut all the strings off and I'm going to string it up, right? And then talk through the arrangement with the guys, right? But I'm sitting there with like the producer of the show, and I open up my case, and there is no legit backup pair of strings. And that's unlike me, because I'll usually have a couple of pairs of good backup strings and then some old crappy ones that I stash in the case, and just have options, right? Major lesson on this channel: always have backups. But in this dream, I open up the case, and it's like these crumbly old, like labella strings, all mismatched, not a solid set in the whole pack. And I'm trying to like digging through all the packs going, well, this string is kind of like the low E string, and I'm just having no luck. And I'm asking the producer, well, do you have any strings here? And I look on his desk. He's got strings, but they're like acoustic strings. And he has this acoustic guitar laying across his desk, and I'm just feverishly digging through these pack of strings, these crumbly old strings from like the 60s, trying to piece together enough strings and thinking, well, if I could just get 4 good strings, I could probably play the song, with just bar chords, and we could get through this. And man, it seemed to go on and on in the dream. I was just digging and digging, looking, hoping that maybe inside the pack would be some other strings that I jammed in there at another time. And I'd open up strings and there'd be nylon strings in there. And man, I'm just, I'm going, hey, is there a music store across the street? And I think the last thing that happened in the dream was they go, yeah, there's one across the street. And I went to make the move to go get a pack of strings, which, man, if you restring a guitar at the last minute like that, man, you got to do a lot of stretching, and they're not going to be ready to go as soon as you put them on the guitar. It takes a while to stabilize new strings. But man, all of a sudden, I wake up out of a deep sleep, and I hear this beep, beep. And it's like the fire alarm is going off in the house, right? So I get up and I start making my way to the living room, and I kind of smell like a faint burning smell, and I can't determine where it's coming from. It's just like 5 a.m, right? And everybody is just out, including the dog. Although the dog I think me and the dog were the first ones up. And so I've got to scramble now all of a sudden and get my wife and get her up, get the child up. She's like, oh, well, we got to get dressed. I'm like, you get shoes on. That's it. Because, I couldn't find the source of what I thought was smoke, or the smell, the burning smell. I could not find the source of that. And man, I checked my music room thinking, well, maybe I left something on, or, who knows what. And we're in a new neighborhood. We're in a new place. We don't know what's going on. And, trying to get everybody, it was kind of like being the tour manager on the road. And you got to like, let's go. And they're all, well, I don't even have he's like, you just put on your shoes, grab your car keys, and out. Because I called the non-emergency number and told them what was going on. told them that there was a slight burning smell, and the fire alarm went off, and it went off, but it turned off pretty quickly, right? So I get everybody out. I get my wife, my daughter, and our dog in my wife's car and tell them, pull out of the driveway, go park, and then I stand outside in the cold. It's like 28 degrees at that time in Florida. And I have them, they're in their car. I'm outside. I pulled my car out of the garage, and I'm standing out at 5 a.m, and having to talk to 2 fire trucks pulled up and an ambulance pulled up just in case. And, that is one of those moments where, for one, I was having literally a panic attack in my sleep, getting my one chance to be on David Letterman, and the band doesn't know the song, and we weren't able to run it all the way through at sound check. And now I'm scrambling to even find the strings to put on my guitar so that I can try to carry this band through the song. And, man, it was from a very dream-induced panic attack to a real panic attack, in that maybe our house is on fire. Maybe there's an electrical fire in the attic. And then having to navigate all that, be the tour manager of the family and get everybody out. Come on, let's go. Let's go. That's a tour manager. Let's go. Let's go. It becomes like, a lot of those guys, a lot of those tour managers on the road are like ex-military guys. There's a reason for that, because you've got to organize your troops, keep everybody in line, and bark out orders, and sometimes protect your family the same way that I had to protect my family today. It's like, look, it's not about it's not a fashion show. Get your shoes on and get out. Well, is that what the person on the phone is saying? Yes. Person on the phone is saying, get out of the house. And I'm telling you to get out of the house. And it's not about feelings in a moment like that. It's not about being nice. It's about, hey, we don't know if this is some kind of gas leak or whatever it is. We got to get out of here. Let's get out of here. So, man, and as you can see, the sun is all of a sudden out. And it's like the bugs now are just like dancing in exuberance. But man, going from extreme to extreme like that, a dream of dread, of panic, of a dream that you finally worked so hard to realize, the one that never happened for me. And then to wake up and think, man, I've got to get out of this house, and I didn't even think about pulling a guitar. I didn't even worry about losing my guitars or anything. We just got out of the house and waited for the fire crew to show up. And that's what you're supposed to do, man. So I imagine that's why a lot of those musicians out in LA, a lot of them, when it was time to get out of their homes, they just got out with their life intact. And you really can't worry about material things at a time like that. And, being ready to go at any time is a huge part of life, man. Being ready to go. Whether it's ready to play your songs, ready to evacuate your family, ready to take opportunity as it comes. It's important, man. It's important to be ready. That's why today it's been extremely cold here. I haven't gotten out and been able to walk. Wife got to go to the gym while I watched our child. But I just said, hey, I'm going for a walk now. Because look, you got to be ready, man. You got to be ready for whatever life throws at you at any time. And opportunity can come at any time. And guess what? It comes whether you're ready or not. So, hey, man, lesson for today, always be ready and do what you need to do each day so that you're always ready for whatever life throws at you. Peace.